Oh, I'm actually so nervous to see what's going to happen now, you know. Let's see what to say.
How many times must I tell you? You must never put your life on the line for me.
Mother has always had a fascination for Lord Mortimer, but has never wanted to tell me why.
Okay.
We are doing our utmost to find your mother as quickly as possible.
Without your mother, hundreds of men of the cloth would have gone to the guillotine.
All I can tell you is I'm looking for my sister.
Do you believe your mother capable of torturing a child?
An agreement for cannons. Lord Mortimer assured me that you are to take over the project on behalf of your mother.
Johann Christoph von Wollner, Minister of Religious Affairs, and Jacques Peroux, French Revolutionary Tribunal Judge. You will find that Lord Mortimer is not what one would call conventional, Monsieur de Richet.
Okay.
Monsieur de Richet, I am arresting you for the murder of Elizabeth Adams.
There we go. Also, I found out if I'd have gone back with Elizabeth, I'd have slept with her. But 2 to equip. Got to be that one and that one just because I haven't done them yet. Some are probably better than others, but Lord Mortimer's office. Oh, am I going to see him? Let's see. What's that at the top? Is that because I've still got
we meet, Monsieur de Richet. Do you mind if I call you Louis?
Please do.
Thank you.
He's
I
been
wish
Mortimer
to
himself, isn't he?
apologize wholeheartedly, Louis. I made you cross the seas, and I wasn't even here to welcome you. When I asked you to join us here, it was, of course, in the hope that you would help us find your mother. But an act of horrific violence occurred during the night, and I do not know if this is linked to the disappearance of Sarah.
If there's a possible link to my mother, I hope you'll let me know.
In the early hours of the morning, Elizabeth Adams
No, not Elizabeth.
was found dead.
Obviously.
in her
I want about the
room,
other person. I've forgotten her name.
savagely mutilated with a knife. I'll get straight to the point, Louis. According to the initial elements at my disposal, you were the last person to see her alive.
Yeah.
Yes, last night we, Do you suspect me?
I want you to tell me everything that happened last night and leave nothing out. Tell me, how did the evening begin?
Oh, I actually can't remember.
Duchess Hillsborough and I were returning to our rooms when Elizabeth came up to us. She was in a state of panic and insisted that she needed to speak to me. She said she feared for her life. I took my leave of the Duchess and followed Elizabeth to her room.
Continue.
She insisted we have a drink,
Yeah, I won't go
without
lie.
which she refused to confide anything.
What exactly did she want to speak about?
She
Yeah.
claimed she saw my mother the previous evening on the cliff, if I remember correctly.
Interesting. I will send someone as soon as possible. But do go on.
I
About it.
refused to go on drinking with her. She already seemed drunk and her conversation became confused. So, then she ordered me to get out. If only I'd stayed.
Don't blame yourself, Louis. How could you have known? But thank you for this new information. Louis, I shan't hide the fact that this tragedy puts me in a very delicate situation. I cannot risk upsetting the smooth operation of our next conference. But the case cannot remain unaddressed. I must reassure my guests.
Yeah, I'm not going to
and
interrupt.
Justice will be done. And for that to happen, I must ask for your help.
Why is that?
You met Elizabeth. You spoke together, I believe. She trusted you. Listen, Louis. Find out who could have committed this murder. I refuse to believe that one of my guests is the murderer. I want to know who is responsible for this. And I trust you. You have my backing. You must stop at nothing. Can I count on you?
It's himself, it's him.
How would you like me to proceed?
Him or the guy in
Maybe
the
we
massacre
start
who's
by
got
going
working
to
with
the
him.
scene of the crime. Elizabeth was attacked in her room.
Right. I'll get over there immediately.
Thank you, Louis. Now, once you've finished, come back and let me know your findings. I'll be waiting. And Louis, you've got permission to search through the guests' rooms. They've all been notified and they agree.
But they all think it's me, so that wouldn't make any sense. All of them came to me. Okay. Well, I don't remember which room is hers. Or which room is mine.
Monsieur Johann von Wullner.
We'll search hers first. Go to her room first, figure it out. And then go to everyone else's room. What are you doing?
Good day, Monsieur de Richelieu.
Mr. Wullner, are you looking for anything in particular? Next to Elizabeth's room?
No, nothing special.
Lord Mortimer must have informed you of the necessity for everyone to remain in their rooms until further notice.
Certainly, but I'm a guest, not a prisoner.
Don't like him.
I was looking for a servant, since we don't all, unfortunately, have one at our disposal.
Yeah, right.
I shall leave you now, sir. I will return to my room.
Damn straight you will, before I knock you out. Yeah, that's what I thought. Oh, Ash is still in here. Okay. It's not blood, it's just red wine.
A chest with a half-circle pattern.
The honeydew as well. And a letter.
An untutored hand copied these notes. Looks like a healing method. Well, that's a pity. The writing is barely legible.
Damn. Jesus. Well, let's investigate.
No wounds, but blood on the right hand. Nothing on the left except that tattooed symbol. No marks or bruising around the wrists. Doesn't look like she was tied up or held by force.
Well, 'cause she had scars on her arm.
I count no fewer than 9 wounds on the thorax with a lot of blood. On first sight, I'd say that's what caused her death. Some of these tattoos are veritable works of... What's that? The skin between her breasts is different. Bloody hell! This tattoo was drawn on a page of leather and stitched onto her skin.
Oh, wow.
Probably during childhood. If the scars are anything to go by.
Wow.
It's the same kind of tattoo as on the rest of her body.
Okay.
I see no sign of bruising on the skull. The only clue is a scar from a previous craniectomy.
She's got something
Poor
around her
Elizabeth,
neck.
She must have been very young when she went through all that. That's torture. She also has old scars around the neck. Maybe mutilations.
What a strange smell.
Jaeger.
She bled from the nose. Blood, but no trace of blows on the legs. More tattoos, similar to those on the rest of her body.
So yeah, that's what it is. Each thing I do is an extra.
There are numerous marks on the body. She must have fought like a lion. It couldn't have happened without a lot of noise. There are also a number of old scars. Scarring, ugh. Scarring isn't very regular, but they're mostly from old cuts.
Yeah. It's really annoying that I'd have to use one for this. But okay. That's the same thing I just done. It was at different points, I just, yeah. It's annoying because you can't skip it as well, so if you accidentally press it, you got to watch the whole thing again.
Knocked over bottle of wine.
The same smell on the breath.
Same thing Elizabeth served me last night. Still just as disgusting. I don't know what's
Oh wait,
with this
cured
wine,
negative.
but
Oh.
it's undrinkable.
I just wasted so many fucking things in as well.
The blade is short and thin. Well sharpened, apparently. It's covered in blood. Still fresh. The lower part of the handle is unsullied by blood. The murderer gripped the weapon so tight that there's no blood where he held it. The handprint indicates a small and slender hand.
God damn it, negative elements, man.
Poor girl bled to death. Whoever left that footprint has boats for feet. That's at least a size 15. Where's a size like that here? Peru? Washington, maybe.
Maybe.
Blood spatter indicates that the murderer must have held Elizabeth upright during the attack. Even if Elizabeth wasn't very big, I doubt she wouldn't have put up a struggle. It takes tremendous strength to overpower someone like that.
But you've been stood there that whole time?
A devil's thorn, to be used to uncover vials of laudanum. The label shows that this laudanum comes straight from America. I wonder if Washington's involved.
Washington again. But is that just someone trying to make someone else look guilty?
Pentagram? What the hell's been going on here? Many esoteric rituals are based on this shape. Could Elizabeth have been sacrificed during an occult ritual? I wonder if Elizabeth's death has anything at all to do with this pentagram.
Didn't mean to do that.
If a ritual went wrong and degenerated, Elizabeth would probably have been killed in the center of the pentagram, not 3 meters from here. That's strange. A novel of the notebook, written in Elizabeth's handwriting. is written in a mix of several languages. Not too easy to
I've
work
not
out.
unlocked
June 11th,
linguistics.
17.
My dear Elizabeth, your last letter gave me much concern. The word
My
so
dear
called
Elizabeth,
emotions no longer
your
matter
last
to you.
letter gave me much
Father
cause for
maintains
concern.
that the secondary effects of your
Your
treatment
words were
will
so
trouble
cold,
you.
as if
But that will be
emotions no longer
subsides.
matter to you.
They will soon subside, shall I
Father
believe him?
maintains the secondary effects of your treatment. August 24th. August 24th, 1792. Elizabeth.
A gun as well.
A pistol? Fairly new, I'd say. And judging by the weight of it, fairly light. There's a few dried traces of blood on the grip. Difficult to know for sure how they got there. A tribute engraved on the barrel. To the liberators of France. It's extremely well maintained. The barrel is perfectly clean. It isn't loaded, and well, there's no traces of gunshot residue. I'd conclude that it hasn't been used recently. Right. I shall have to find its owner. "30 November, 1791. Piece of fabric. High quality at that.
Okay.
I'd say it's silk. Going by the texture and the gray hue, it must come from a dress, that kind that women of quality wear. Color doesn't correspond to Emily's black outfits, and Elizabeth doesn't have anything quite like this in her wardrobe. Let's take a closer look. It's a little dirty. It must come from the bottom of the dress where it touches the ground. I recognize that moire pattern. It's the same as the travel dress my mother was wearing when she left. But why the hell did she come into this room?
Okay. My mother is the villain of this story.
My dear Elizabeth.
Has Sir finished with this room?
Do you know who could have made such a mess of this room?
Miss Adams, sir. We were given orders to leave the room as it was, so as not to rush her.
Did she have a fight with someone to get the room into this state?
Not that I know of, sir. Miss Adams would sometimes throw a tantrum, during which she would destroy anything that came to hand. Lord Mortimer told us not to enter the room.
Thanks for that information.
You are welcome, sir. Has Sir finished with this
I know
room?
enough now.
I
Thank
think
you.
so.
Very well, sir.
We think it's
Sir may
Washington.
return whenever need be. I shall guard the door.
Like, we think Washington at the moment. So we'll go find Washington's room. Although it said the Liberators of France. He's right next door as well.
A map of Vermont. A map of Vermont.
We're gonna see the same kind of bottles, aren't we, or something?
My dear George, it looks like a note between Emily and Washington about trade deals.
Should've unlocked other things.
Honey, the remedy of the gods.
Yeah, it's just to go outside.
Portrait of George Washington.
Carmelite water. They say that if you drink this, it gives you a real boost.
Greetings, Louis.
Okay.
Mr. President, you can guess why I'm here.
Of course.
Lord Mortimer has sent me to ask you a few questions about last night.
It's... How am I going to tell Elizabeth's father that she's dead?
I know, Mr. President. I shall endeavor to find out the truth about this tragedy. I must ask you to help me, though. Please.
Find the
Oh, I think
degenerate
it's he.
pig who did this, Louis.
aware that Elizabeth took laudanum?
Yes. She came to ask me for some. She had finished her reserve, I believe.
Tell me, Mr. President, had you spoken to Elizabeth since your arrival? You know her father. You thought she was dead.
No, I didn't. And I believe I'll be taking my remorse with me to my grave. I wanted to, but I didn't know where to begin.
Did she tell you why she was so desperate to get some, Mr. President?
I don't think
She
it's
said
him.
she had terrible migraines that wouldn't go away.
More likely for the voices she heard, not the migraines. Tell me, Mr. President, had you spoken to Elizabeth since your arrival? You know her father. You thought she was dead.
No, I didn't. And I believe I'll be taking my remorse with me to my grave. I wanted to, but I didn't know where to begin.
You can't blame yourself. You couldn't have known that her days were numbered. Mr. President, we found a footprint at the scene of the crime.
Not a dress shoe, I hope. That's all I wear.
No, rest assured. It looks like the print of a big ankle boot. A large size, I'd say.
Perfect. That should help you, Louis. It's a clue.
They've got more to
Greetings,
say, mate.
Louis.
Do you know if she had any enemies, Mr. President?
Not that I know of.
Okay.
I heard about her altercation with Mr. Perry, but that case was closed, if I'm not mistaken. But if in doubt, I wouldn't leave any door unopened. And I'd go and question your fellow countrymen.
Don't worry. Countryman or not, I'm not letting anybody slip through the cracks. Do you know why she came to the island?
To get help, if I'm not mistaken.
Okay.
Isn't that right?
Indeed. Sir Gregory suggested to her father that he introduce her to Lord
Yeah, I
Mortimer
don't think it'd be
to
him
see if
because
he
it's.
could
I mean,
help
it's George Washington, innit? Like you know.
Yes, Lord Mortimer has a talent for healing, apparently. I'm not surprised Sir Gregory advised her to come.
Agreed.
Okay.
I shan't keep you any longer, Mr. President.
Feel free, Louis. If there's anything I can do, just ask.
Thank you, Mr. President.
Okay. I don't think it's him. I don't. So that means next up we go to not that room. Is this?
Huh, that's me.
Oh. I don't know where I'm going.
Duke Manuel Godoy.
Nope. Okay. Where's Napoleon?
Monsieur Napoleon Bonaparte.
Could be him. There's a chance.
The Prince by Machiavelli. A perfect read for anyone with a surfeit of ambition. That might come in handy.
What is it? Said I discovered an immunity, but I don't know what.
A bicorn decorated with my dearest son. The Battle of Alexander at Issus, or how Alexander the Great triumphed over King Darius.
We'll leave that
Yet
for
another
now.
one with delusions of grandeur. French actor Talma is Nero in Britannicus, the last emperor of the Caesar dynasty. There's just one holster in Bonaparte's gear.
Oh, there's no gun in
The
it.
pistol is missing. On the other hand, his cleaning equipment is in mint condition. That's typical of the soldier in him.
Pistol's missing, but that's in mint condition, which means
My
he didn't
God.
clean the gun.
Vercingetorix throws down his arms at the feet of Julius Caesar by Royer, two great army chiefs. Carmelite water. They say that if you drink this, it gives you a real boost.
Okay. Next skill use is
Please be quick.
free.
We are both very busy.
As any good soldier would, I imagine you own a firearm. May I see it?
Oh, well, if you really want to, here is my pistol.
Ah, okay.
Don't worry, it is not loaded.
Do you have several of these?
In Corsica, oui, but not on me when I am traveling. Only a bandit would carry such an arsenal.
Thank you. Did you hear about young Elizabeth?
Indeed, it is deeply regrettable.
Lord Mortimer asked me to...
I know. You no doubt want to know my alibi. I spent the night downstairs playing cards.
Can you tell me who was present at the game, please?
Well, there were Lord Mortimer, President Washington, and Sir Gregory.
Thank you.
Ah, and His Eminence Piaggi as well. Excuse me, I nearly forgot him. Poor soul.
Did any of you leave during the game?
Not that I know of, monsieur. I didn't exactly spend my time noting the other guests' comings and goings, but I don't think so.
Thank you. Did you notice anything...
I feel like they won't use
Nothing at all. Except
actual
the luck of
people
the
in real
devil
life
of
as the
Lord
killer.
Mortimer
So like it
and
won't be
Sir
Napoleon and
Gregory
it
and
won't be
guards.
George Washington
Did they
because they're
win
like
much?
real life people.
Oh la la,
They're
monsieur, they
estimated, right?
cleaned us out more like. But I plan on getting it all back before we leave.
What time did the game end?
I can't say exactly. As for me, I must have stayed until midnight. I was exhausted, couldn't think straight. So I preferred to go up to bed.
On your way up to bed, did you notice anything out of the ordinary?
No, not in the least. The whole manor was sound asleep.
Not really. No.
Well, have we finished, monsieur?
Exactly.
Nothing for him.
Thanks again for all your answers. Good day.
Interesting. Yeah, we've got nothing for him. So now we've got to question
Duchess Emily Hillsborough.
Emily.
King George
Unless she
III
tries to question me
coronation robes.
first.
Nice touch for the room of an English duchess.
Dear E.
So many letters.
The Lady's Waldegrave by Reynolds. Painted upon the request of the Waldegrave family. A letter from William Pitt the Younger, addressed to Emily. 2 coils circle the lock. Queen Charlotte. A letter from William Pitt the Elder, addressed to Emily. He was the
Elder
English
as
Prime
well.
Minister. This letter dates from 15 years ago now. Madam.
Okay, let's question her.
What can I do for you, Louis?
I've come to see you about last night's tragedy. Did you hear anything about what happened to Elizabeth?
Yes, we all did. Rumors spread quickly, you know.
Indeed.
How awful. I didn't know her well, but I hope at least the poor thing didn't suffer too much.
Death came quickly.
It's free, so
You can be assured of that.
If such a senseless act can happen here, then none of us is truly safe anywhere. Lord Mortimer must be mortified that one of his guests could have committed such an act, don't you think?
He is indeed very upset about it. It's only natural after such a violent murder.
Violent? What do you mean?
Elizabeth was stabbed 9 times.
Oh my God, Louis. How awful. The murderer must have had a serious grudge against her to set upon her like that. It must have been a crime of passion. Do you know what happened exactly?
In fact, Lord Mortimer has asked me to look into this case, Emily.
Really? Are you Lord Mortimer's snoop now?
I'm doing it for Elizabeth, not to please Mortimer.
Good for you. Quite right, too. Have you found out anything?
Where was
I'm
she?
now interviewing all the guests to establish the alibis for each person. Just so that I can cross you off the list of suspects, can you tell me what you were doing on the night of the murder?
Am I given to understand that I'm on the list of suspects?
Don't take it the wrong way, but I must consider every possibility.
Well, if
Everybody's
you
a
absolutely
suspect.
wanted to be sure of my activities that evening, you only had to join me, you know.
I know, Emily. Especially since I couldn't prevent the murder, even though I spent part of the evening with Elizabeth.
You're sure it's not too hard to bear for you?
The fact is, I don't have a choice. But I will find the murderer. I owe Elizabeth that, at least.
What was your relationship with her?
Did you and Elizabeth get to know each other?
She just said she didn't know about him.
I must admit, Louis.
Yeah.
I didn't take much interest in her. I feel a bit guilty about it, but I never actually spoke to her. She seemed burdened by her problems, and as she wasn't invited to the conference, I didn't really seek her out.
I hear you were in discussions with the Holy See.
Ooh.
Either His Eminence can't keep his tongue from wagging, or you've been poking your nose where you shouldn't, sir.
Even so, Emily, you're raising a royalist army. That's no small matter.
And you are straying from the subject. Is there anything else you wanted to ask me?
I found a torn piece of dress in Miss Adams' room. Gray silk.
Where's it from?
That's what I'm trying to find out. The color doesn't match any of Elizabeth's dresses, but I might not have found all of her clothes yet.
Good Lord, Louis, do you realize what this means?
Nope.
If this piece of dress isn't from Elizabeth, then it's... I don't have any grey silk dresses, Louis. Neither does my sister, since we wear the same clothes.
Yeah.
That's exactly what I wanted to check with you.
I'm so sorry, Louis.
Thank you.
Are you all right? You know, I'm sure there's a good reason why your mother was at the scene.
Thank you, Emily. We found the murder weapon.
It's gotta be my mum then,
What
right?
is it?
A dagger. Quite slim.
Have you found its owner?
Not yet. Still searching as it happens. That said, since the blade penetrated the body several times, the murderer's hand will have been covered in blood.
You think that's a clue?
The handprint was a very slender hand, Emily. Probably that of a woman.
Do you realize what that means? There are only 3 of us on the island. Bearing in mind that neither my sister nor myself had any reason to set upon the young lady, that means...
I know, Emily. I know.
Keep up your courage, Louis. I'm sure there's an explanation. You're bound to shed some light on it all.
If what you say is true, Emily, I'm less and less enthusiastic about shedding any light on the subject.
It's gonna be her, innit? It's gonna be her.
I won't keep you, Emily. Thank you for answering my questions.
See you, Louis.
It's gonna be her. She's got me wrapped up around her finger. God damn it. She knows just how to wiggle me.
Duke Manuel Godoy.
Don't know who else's room I need to go to.
Huh, that's me.
I've gone to everyone's room now, right? This was Elizabeth, Emily's.
Monsieur Napoléon Bonaparte. Monsieur Jacques Perru.
What you looking at?
What do you want from me, de Richet?
Greetings. It's fallen to me
Cut
that...
the crap! Get to the point. We both know why you're here.
And have you got anything to tell me?
What does it matter? It's too late anyway. Do what you have to do and get out.
It's never too late, sir. If you have something to say, now is the time.
You don't understand. Everything's already written. It's over.
Why is he behaving like the perfect culprit? What is it that's already written? I'm not sure I follow you.
No, you don't.
The Massacre of the Innocents by Rubens. A bit gloomy. Great, honey.
Interesting.
Dear friend.
4 circle shaped key. golden elixir? I don't actually know.
Records of the police. Notes intended for the police lieutenant of Paris.
I'm gonna keep showing up because I
The
just
list of
spammed it.
people under surveillance in Paris. And there's some well-known names on it. This is valuable information. This shouldn't be lying around. A pattern with 4 circles.
Use the key. Letters. Jazz.
Dear Monsieur,
I have no space left. I'll retrieve it later.
the massacre of the innocents
All right, let's chat
by
to
Van
him.
Harlem.
One then.
I think that
All
Mortimer
right.
likes to play
Have you
mind games
finished?
with his guests. Not quite. I'd like you to answer a few questions. Let's get right to it. Are you Elizabeth Adams' murderer?
That is for you to prove, if I'm not mistaken, boy. You weren't expecting me to do all the legwork for you, were you? Lazy man.
You were armed the night of my arrival. Can I see your weapon?
No.
You do realize you're not helping, don't you? You're making it worse for yourself. I know you were at the scene. We will save a lot of time if you just tell me what happened.
You know nothing at all.
Enlighten me then. For now, I have your footprint in a pool of blood.
Interesting.
That's right. The only thing you can prove is one of my boots was at the scene. Congratulations, you've wrapped up the investigation. All right, have you finished?
Not quite. I'd like you to answer a few questions. I'd like to talk about the letter you're writing. What woman is it addressed to?
Who says it's a woman? I'm not saying any more. There's no point you insisting.
Don't know what more I could do. Is that everyone? I just have to go back to Lord Mortimer now. Think so. That's everyone. Nothing more I can do.